So our first question comes from Amir. Amir says, "Hello, Austin and Robert. My name is Amir, and I have a pretty general question. You both often discuss maximizing the IRA and the 401k contributions for retirement, but I don't quite see the benefits of accumulating wealth for when I'm 60 or even 70, as the laws may change then. Why not take risks to retire early? I'm currently making $85,000 a year in my first job in the United States, which I started 3 months ago. All my savings are invested in real estate in my home country, and I haven't decided whether to bring that money to the US or not. My question is, wouldn't it be better to invest in a small, cash-producing business like a laundromat rather than putting money into an IRA for a future I can't predict in terms of health or enjoyment? Or alternatively, should I invest directly in the stock market to grow my wealth and pay taxes while I'm still young enough to enjoy it? For context, I'm 34, I'm renting, I have no debt, and I have a net worth of around $300,000, which is all invested abroad out of the United States. Thanks a lot for your great podcast, and I look forward to hearing your insights." Robert, do you want to kick this one off?
Yes, I love this question. Amir, you're on the right track. Back in the day when I was coming up and I was 34 years old, I was very aggressive. And I invested a lot more money in small businesses like you're speaking of. And I didn't balance it out enough, in my opinion, in retrospect, with having the Roth maxed out, with having the bridge account maxed out as much as I could every year. So I think you're on the right track, but you have to also ask yourself, what if you take all of this money from the $85K per year, you invest it in a laundromat, maybe you invest it in a landscaping business, and you start buying pieces of all these small businesses, and what if they don't make money, or worse, they go out of business? Then your money goes to zero, and it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 years worth of your investment capital goes to zero, which in the stock market, in the ETFs and index funds that we talk about, the likelihood of going to zero is almost zero. Because with the stock market, like we talk about the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, generally there's going to be some volatility, but they go up and to the right over time. So that's where I'm at on this. I think you could do both. I wouldn't bet the farm on small businesses only and individual stocks. I would really hedge my bets by having some money into these funds we talk about and making sure that you are balanced enough to where you can take some shots in investing in these small businesses, but not with all of your funds, because I just think that's too risky. You never know what's going to happen. And you just always want to make sure that you have some diversification.
I think what's also important to remember, Robert, and people don't exactly take this into consideration unless they're told it. They explicitly understand this concept. The stock market, unlike a laundromat business, unlike real estate, unlike, private investing via startups or whatever else, right? The stock market is 100% liquid. If tomorrow I needed to liquidate my entire portfolio and I needed to take out $100,000, I can do it. I absolutely can do it, right? I can sell my stocks and get my money out tomorrow. If you needed to sell your laundromat, right? If you needed to, now sure, your laundromat theoretically could be valued at 2, 3, 4 times owner's profits. And so like in your brain, there could be a specific, valuation or price on this laundromat, but if you wanted to tap into that, right? If you wanted to sell that, it's going to take you months, if not maybe a year or two, to even sell this laundromat. And so, Amir, I just want to remind you that, one, the concept of liquidity is very powerful, especially when the thing that you're investing into, the S&P 500 in this case, over the last 2 years is up 53%, right? That means if you invested $100,000 into the S&P 500 on January 2nd of 2023, when the stock market opened, it would now be worth $152,000. And the best part, if you needed the money tomorrow, you can sell all $152,000 of that right now and it be deposited to your checking account the very next day, right? So that is what's so powerful about investing in the stock market, is you're getting the best of both worlds right now. Not only are you seeing the awesome gains, especially if you're investing your money correctly, but you also get liquidity. Now, the other side of this equation, to Robert's point, and I really agree with him here, why not both? Right? It's like you don't have to be so exclusive to, okay, should I be taking risks at a younger age to maybe retire early? Of course you should. Absolutely. Right? You're 34. I see that you're renting. Maybe there's a world where you want to buy a house one day in the United States. We really encourage you to do that. But, there's absolutely a world where you can take risks. You can start new things. You can, listen to Monday's episode with Harley and figure out how to be an entrepreneur and what really drives you. But don't do those things and completely forget about the Roth IRA and completely forget about the 401k and completely forget about the vehicles and strategies that we talk about on a weekly basis that will all but guarantee you to retire wealthy if you consistently invest over the next, call it 30 years of your life, into this machine that we call American capitalism, aka the S&P 500. So I think it's a balance. I don't think they're mutually exclusive by any stretch of the imagination. And I also just want people to understand how important it is to have liquidity, especially with the returns that we're seeing in the stock market.
I think that is a great bow to put on my answer, because liquidity is so incredibly important. And I see it every day where people don't even consider liquidity. They say, well, I'm going to go invest in this real estate deal, or I'm going to go invest in this restaurant deal. And all of that sounds great if you're getting distributions, but that does not mean you're liquid. Many times in real estate, you your money tied up for 5, 6, 7 years and you can't touch it. I have that situation right now with an LP where I invested $250,000 into an oil refining company. That was supposed to mature in 7 to 8 years. It's been 15 years and my money is still locked up. That is not a good place to be. That's why you want to have diversity, and you want to make sure you don't have all your eggs in one basket, because then if you need the money for a great deal, a health issue, or any reason you'd want liquidity, you don't have it, and it's just really a tough situation. So I'm really glad you brought that up.